Hi, remember me? Sorry, just kidding. Today's video is on a trailer game called Whac-A-Mole. Let's go over and take a look. So as you can see, this game is what we call a trailer game. It's totally portable. That's what it looks like on the inside here. It has 12 player stations. And you have these moles which pop out, and the idea here is to physically abuse them with this mallet. And your goal is to get 150 points before anybody else, and therefore you will win. The noise you hear right now is a compressor. The way this game is designed is it has a compressor inside this area here, and it operates constantly. There is no air tank reserve with this game. So what I'm going to do now is show you what we call a track mode or balling. Here's the controls here, as you can see. This is for sound effects, which I don't have currently on. This is the bell, and this is what we call balling. Now, what is the purpose of this, you ask? Well, it's to attract customers, but as a technician, I can sit down here and watch and see if all of the moles are popping out of their holes properly. Or in some cases, there may be some erroneous behavior. So this is the quickest way to see this before we open. Before we open, I fire up the game, as you see here, and I go through it like this. So what we're going to do is, once this track mode is over, and it will be over shortly, I'm going to open up this station and show you one of the common problems with this game. Now, as you can tell, without this cover even being removed, there's air pistons underneath here. And after a while, as you will see, this is what they look like here. Sorry, it's hard to get a shot done. Okay, so all of them, each mole has an air piston, and this is the assembly that it's attached to. This panel, so you can see that better. And what happens usually with these things in particular is we get fractures always around, either here on this part usually, and sometimes even up in here as well. It just comes with the game, you know, shock and awe, you might say. The other thing that happens with this is, again, we get airline cracks. They go. The air pistons have been pretty good, you know. And the other main thing that goes are these little switches here. Like any mechanical switch, because it's getting hit like that, that shock transfers through eventually and things go, such as these little rollers here. We always find these are coming off, and sometimes these pins come out. So it's really just a matter of opening up the game, locating these parts and reinstalling them. The other thing that goes, again, more air hoses here. These are the little sensors. And what happens is, when this is depressed, it gets a certain amount of air discharged into this switch, and then that sends a signal to this main board over here. And each station is identical to this one. I'm just going to fire up this game here by itself and show you how it works. So to turn on this game, we first have to press this button to show that's been activated. Since I'm only using one station, I'm not playing with one, I'll just start it here. This is the start button. Okay. Now, if there's anything wrong with this game, it'll start adding points up, and that means that the switches need adjustment. You can see how it operates. You definitely don't want to get your fingers in there, as you can see. That spring's a little bit, needs a little bit of love, and that's the other thing that goes in these games. So what I'm going to do now is start smacking them. So these are the mallets, and these get abused too, and eventually, because they're cloth filled with a hard foam, they have to be replaced after a while as well. Let's go inside and take a look. This is where the compressor is located here. No big deal, right? That's our power sources here. This is how we test if we've got power to both of our legs. That's our sound system. There's our information display. And up here is where the main brain is. You can see every station has a card, as you can see here. And each station has a set of fuses underneath here. And there's the switching power supplies. The other issue that happens is these light bulbs go. They're very similar to the lights in bowler roller. So we're fortunate we can just swap back and forth with those things. And occasionally these things do get damaged. But overall, it's not a super high maintenance game, provided you keep on top of the stations and make sure you check your switches and springs. Okay, let's step outside for a sec here. Anyways, once again, I want to thank you people for your time and your interest. And I hope you come down and visit us one day at Playland. And thank you once again for your time.